All right, it's time now for the game preview presented by Ticketmaster, here with head coach Kevin Stefanski. Kevin, first victory of the season. How good does it feel to put one in the win column?
Yeah, it felt good, and I think what we talk about is all the work that goes into these things from our players and our coaches and our staff. So you want to get that feeling. That's what we do this for. That's why we compete so hard. So excited for those guys.
We talk every week about the importance of takeaways. Grant Delpit's interception, the first since week 13 of last season. Does that highlight how important takeaways are to winning football?
Well, it certainly it helps, and that's the league. Right now, you look around the league, what the teams are that are positive in the turnover margin, they have a pretty good record. So we're looking to take that ball away. It's something that we're emphasizing, we're working, while playing really sound defense and sound special teams as well.
Right, speaking of winning football, Shelby Harris blocks that field goal, sets Andre Schmidt up for that 55-yard game-winning walk-off field goal. For you and Andre, how good was it to see him be able to go out there and knock that one down, especially after how week one went?
Well, we have a lot of confidence in Andre, and that's from watching him work and watching him at practice in these games, and was not real surprised that he made that kick. I know week one he missed a couple, but he's a rookie. He's a young player, so we trust him. He is going to be a guy that we can trust and count on in these games.
Who celebrated harder, specialists on the field or you guys on the sideline getting out there to the field?
Yeah, I don't remember. We had a lot of guys getting out there, and that's one of our tenets of what we believe in is celebrating with your teammates, so that was good to see.
All right, you know what, stack wins in this league. Big challenge ahead of you. On the road, Detroit Lions. When you look at what they've been able to do coming off a big win, what has Dan Campbell and his Lions shown you through the first 3 weeks of this season?
Well, it's a great team. They went 15-2 last season for a reason. And then to see them pick up this year and play how they're playing is really impressive. Really, you can go across the roster, Cam, and go up and down it and look at some great players. And I have a ton of respect for Coach Campbell, Coach Morton, Coach Shepard, Dave Phipp, their special teams coordinator. This is a well-coached group with really good players.
We'll start with their offense. Since 2021, they are top 3 in most touchdowns, most points, net yards, first downs. How are they able to operate their offense so efficiently?
Well, that's the word. I think it's efficient both in the run and the pass, and then with those playmakers, with Jahmyr Gibbs, with the receivers they have, the tight ends they have, they're making explosives as well. So they have a very good trigger man in Jared Goff. He can make all the throws. He can get them in and out of different calls. He operates well in all their different types of schemes, but it's a sound system with really explosive playmakers.
You mentioned Jared Goff. He leads the league right now in highest completion percentage through the season. Only has thrown 1 interception. How do you change that? What's the key to changing that on Sunday?
Playing our defense, and we have a ton of respect for him. We understand that he's a great player. We have to be about our business. We have to play our techniques. We have to keep this about a fundamental game and then do what we do, which is play really hard.
You mentioned some of those guys he has to throw to, Amon-Ra St. Brown, Jamison Williams, Sam Laporta. What is the message and coverage to your linebackers and your secondary when you're facing a team like this?
Well, I'd include Jahmyr Gibbs in that as well because he's as big a threat as all of those guys are. So it's a really well-balanced attack. They have multiple tight ends, multiple receivers, obviously multiple running backs that can really challenge you in the pass game. So again, it goes back to the boring stuff, just making sure you're doing your job and using great fundamentals.
We'll talk about Jahmyr Gibbs a little bit more. Your defense still at the top of the league for fewest rushing yards allowed. You guys have contained guys like Derrick Henry, Josh Jacobs, but how much of a challenge is it when they've got a dual threat in Jahmyr Gibbs and David Montgomery playing at that top tier caliber?
Yeah, it's a huge challenge. Their running game is diverse. They can get into different types of schemes. They have a big, strong offensive line. Gibbs' speed is very real, so you may think that you've have him hemmed up, but he can turn the corner in a minute. And then David Montgomery is a really talented back. I have a ton of respect for him, having watched him a lot when he was in Chicago. Now what he's doing there, really no scheme limitations with him, and he can get really hard yards.
You guys are obviously trying to get that offense going on the same page. What does their defense show you? How much of a challenge will that be in particular when you're trying to get that operation going?
Really good defense. They play hard. They play multiple fronts, multiple coverages. They can play man really at any moment. And then obviously Aiden Hutchinson up front is terrific. He's a long pass rusher who can win with speed. He can win with power, and his motor really never stops.
You talked about it this week. You talked about it here, explosives. The Lions are no stranger to creating explosives. You guys are still looking for some of that to be more frequent. When you have Quinshon Judkins breaking free for 30-plus yards, how does that help the pass game in creating those explosives in that regard?
Oh, it's a big deal when you can turn and hand it to a guy and he can gain those type of yards. I mean, last week was a huge challenge with that run defense. They hadn't given up some 10-yarders. This is a very similar run defense. We have a ton of respect for them. So it's not going to be easy, but it does go back to making sure that we're doing our job up front with our O-line, with our tight ends, with our wide receivers to give Quinshon and our running backs a chance.
And what does this week of work look like, knowing DeJuan's out for the season? You guys are figuring out the tackle situation. How confident are you that you have the pieces that you need?
Obviously very disappointed to lose DeJuan, to lose him so early in the season. I feel like he was an ascending player, but that's the game. So now it's our job to identify some guys that can fill those shoes, and that's what we're working through right now.
I know you guys want to be aggressive. That's the identity this team wants to embody. The Lions are aggressive themselves. They're not afraid to go for it on fourth down, not afraid to push the limits. How much is that important? How much of an emphasis is that aggressive nature for coaches and players in this matchup?
Well, we know what type of matchup this is going to be. It's a very, very good football team. They're well coached, like we talked about. They have an aggressive mindset in some of what they do. We'll see how that game plays out on Sunday and how we may have to counter that.
All right, good luck on Sunday. Thanks so much, Coach.
Thanks, Cam.